everyone. Again, thank you for joining. We should dive right into the conversation. Our moderators for today are Avani, Prachi, Parthiv, and then we'll be getting into the audience engagement. What are the questions from the audience for all of you, which will be led by Purushotma and Ritika. So over to Avani. Please take it forward.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining in. I am Avani Singh and I am currently working as the creative design head at Break.The.Ice. I am also an author and blogger and currently pursuing my literature honors degree from Ramjas College at Delhi University. Our aim today is to understand and navigate SDG 4, that is quality education for everyone, through the youth, gender and sustainability lens. Through this panel and roundtable discussion, we wish to highlight the importance of SDG 4 and its close connect with other SDGs. Today, we have with us a young panel representing youth changemakers from across the country, known for the wonderful impact they are creating. So firstly, we have with us Namya Joshi. Namya Joshi, a 16-year-old grade 11 student at St. Paul Middle School, serves as official Minecraft student ambassador by Microsoft, dedicated to the motto #EachOneTeach10. Namya has organized free global coding workshops for over 15,000 teachers and youth, particularly girls. Namya's accolades include Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Puraskar 2021, Global Student Prize, Top 50 Finalist 2023, Unstoppable 21 Under 21, Global Child Prodigy Award 2022, Global Impactor Student Impact Award 2022, Diana Award 2021, and being the youngest to attain Adobe Creative Educator certifications ACE 1 and 2. As an active board member, Namya has presented insights on STEM and game-based learning at global events like Future Skills Conference 2023 Finland, EduDays Microsoft, UNESCO, ISTE, Asia Berlin Summit, and many more. Namya's global involvement extends to diverse projects focused on SDGs, fostering empathy, honing technical skills, and raising awareness. Notable projects include Everyday Kindness, No Poverty, Zero Hunger, Eunice Buddy's Earth Day Project, DIY for Earth, Innovation Project, Climate Action Project, Say No to Plastic, and integrating challenging lessons into STEM through Minecraft. Really amazing. Next we have with us Naman Sonpal. Naman, a 10th grade student and founder of Hari Koshish, is a passionate environmentalist determined to make a positive impact. Recognized as one of the India's top 3 changemakers by the Times of India, Naman actively works on issues such as climate change, carbon capturing, wildlife and water conservation, and reducing carbon footprint. Naman's commitment to the environment led him to participate in the global climate strike, advocating for immediate action to combat climate change. Naman participated in panel discussions with Save the Children and Let Me Breathe and the Tale of Humankind Young Summit. He has won awards like Top Changemakers in UP by Dainik Jagran, the Just Right Kids Awards, Pro Activist of the Earth Award by Pratik. He has earned notable achievements, including an invitation to interact with the UN USG of Peace through the Yuva initiative by UNICEF, and an opportunity to be in a panel discussion with the Environment Minister of Canada and Miss Dia Mirza. Next we have with us Akansha Sethi. Leading as the president of Leo District 321A2, Akansha Sethi has been recognized as a leading changemaker by Diana Award, London in 2022. She is currently directing 15 Leo clubs across Delhi, Haryana and Himachal Pradesh with a strong network of 500 plus changemakers, serving more than 28 lakh peoples across the world. In the past few years, Akansha has initiated and mentored 20 plus national and international projects and campaigns along with her team. We also have with us Anusuya. She is a final year political science student at Lady Shri Ram College for Women, a policy champion under Yuva's initiative Youth Ke Bol Policy Champions. She is an active advocate of women's education and empowerment, the founder and president of Girl Up Rubaru. Anusuya is also a Millennium Fellow 2023, a United Nations academic project. Recently, she was selected into Aspire Leadership Program, an initiative by Harvard for first-generation learners of a family. With such a diverse panel, let us get started. I request Prachi to take the lead.
Thank you so much, Avani. Good afternoon to one and all present here. Myself, Prachi Khanna. I'm from Break.The.Ice organization. I'll be moderating the panel Q&A today. Firstly, it's a pleasure to have such great speakers with us today, young minds who are doing wonders at their age. So let's start with the Q&A session with a common question for you all. So my first question is that how did all of your journeys start? Like why did you start working on creating change in different ways in which you all are involved in? Like we would love to know about your initiatives, the things you are involved in, and how initially you started with your journey. So we can start with Naman's answer.
Thank you, Prachi. Thank you, Break the Ice, for this wonderful opportunity. And it's so good to be a part of such a diverse panel. My journey with change actually starts I'm in 10th currently, so my journey starts about 6 years ago when I was in fourth grade. My school was graced by this environmentalist, Miss Madhu Bhatnagar, who had laid down the course of climate education in India well before the Honorable Supreme Court had laid down a jurisdiction. And it starts off with a session called Mother Nature Needs Half. Now, understand that at that time I'm in fourth grade, having the childhood innocence. It all starts off with a passion and a love for the environment in terms of the wonders that are present in the environment. And it slowly graduates into understanding and learning about the current circumstances that we are in and how they have been developing. So a lot of my journey is contributed towards Madhu ma'am and inspiration which I've gathered from her. And later on, Hari Koshish, my organization, is a group of young 21 people aiming towards building a brighter, better, and a greener tomorrow from across different parts of India. And we work towards climate action, climate mitigation, and SDG 4, quality education, including gender diversity and gender inclusivity as well. And this all starts as a lockdown project when we're all at home with the COVID-19 pandemic. It started off with a lockdown project with some posts on social media, but then I soon came to the realization that's not really the best way to lead change. It's not really just by posts, but it's also by on ground action, and it's also by talking and treating climate change as not a problem, but maybe as an inspiration to fight, and maybe as an opportunity to meet other people and together work towards a solution. So rather than treating climate as a problem, treating it as an opportunity to find solutions. And this is something which rests in the major part of my journey. Uh, I got in touch with a couple organizations like Save the Children India, where I've interned as well recently, MASH Project, Let Me Breathe, and Pratyek, as was also being mentioned. And this led to me developing with the other people in a panel and in a group. I'm a part of the Young Campaigners group by STC India as well. And looking at other people developing in their workforce, doing their best in their fields, inspired me to sort of grow Hari Koshish into not just a social media page, but into a non-profit that works towards action and understands that action plans are very, very different from actual action. And just planning the action won't really get us anywhere, but implementing what we plan is actually the main step forward. So this is somewhat been my journey from a young nine ninth 9 year old to now I'm a 15-year-old about to be 16, and yeah, that's how it's been going.
Thank you, Naman, for taking us through your journey. That's truly inspirational from a 9 year old to 15-year and how your journey started at fourth standard. Thank you so much. Next, Akansha, we are eager to hear about your experiences.
Thanks, Prachi. Firstly, Naman, loved hearing your story and obviously looking forward to hearing all of your stories here. And a big thumbs up for everyone जो Friday morning को हमारी कहानियां सुन रहे हैं हम कैसे change लाना चाहते हैं how what do you want to do so you are honestly ahead from 90% of the population right now who actually are not sure what they want to do with the people or how they want to bring some impact so a big thumbs up for that coming about basically how I started firstly it was all about just going with my father and donating some clothes or distributing some food. I never thought about it as creating a change or helping out someone. It was just a core to me. Sounds very wrong, but at the same time, for me, it was ठीक है पापा के साथ जाते हैं और कुछ हेल्प करा देते हैं साथ में दैट्स ऑल it was in my first year of college. I studied from IP Delhi University. It was in my first year of college. I joined this Leo organization and I was going for multiple drives. Drives we refer as a service activities we do We used to go to different service activities. Kabhi hum baat rahe hain. We were making friends. We were networking, of course. Resume point of view looks good. A lot of stuff like that. That's how we started. But the exact point where I actually started my social service journey was Rescue Foundation. So Rescue Foundation is this beautiful initiative by Triveni Acharya where they are rescuing young girls who have been sexually harassed or they were suffered human trafficking, and they're providing them shelter home, providing them basic education. Wahan pe we went for this project Dhruv Tara, which we founded recently, for educational counseling sessions for them. This was the very first time a young girl approached me and she told me, दीदी मैं बड़े होके आपके जैसा बनना चाहती हूँ. We asked them what are the aspirations, and that is kind of the point where I realized why we were doing what we were doing, and the impact we all have, like just that little thing that we don't know that one book might have, or one cloth might have, one conversation we might have with those people, but for them it's something they hold on to. That's the power it holds. So that's exactly the point, like 4 years or 3 years back, where my social service journey started. So Leo, talking a bit about my organization, Leo District 321A2 is the youth body of Lions Club International, which has presence in over 100 plus countries across the world as of now. And right now, our Leo District 321A2 is leading 15 Leo clubs, Delhi, Haryana, and Himachal Pradesh. Again, it's a part where like the young change makers who are joining together, helping out people in different ways in through their skill sets. So we have multiple projects in the field of education, animal welfare, for people with special needs, and a lot more where we are working on. And we have served 28 lakh plus people, which I take a lot of pride in, because when you see the impact, the work you're doing, the hours you're putting into all of this, additionally, because see, all of you are young here, everyone is just kind of doing this as an additional thing through their academic work. So of course that's a great thing. So that's more or less how I started and how we have been working towards it. And yeah, I guess that's all. Baki, we can just move forward with the next person.
That's an incredible journey till here, Akansha. Thank you so much. Namna, we can start with your journey.
Sure. Thank you so much once again for this lovely opportunity to be here and talking about our journeys, and discussing about how we can inspire more young people to come forward. Talking about my journey, well, it all started 5 years ago. I can say six now because it's 2024, when I got attracted to this game called Minecraft. And I think any aspiring gamer who loves to game might be very much familiarized by this game. And I had heard that the game is used only for gaming, but soon I realized that it can be used for education purposes as well. Now, that was because I had observed that my classmates found it quite boring to learn from the textbooks, as it was mere rote learning, and just learning from the text becomes quite repetitive and monotonous. So there was once a workshop that was held at my school to tell teachers about using Minecraft. And that's when I just thought that it could be taken to a higher level, because if we can teach teachers about Minecraft, then they can use it as a tool to engage students in the classroom. But the first thing was that I failed to get help from expert teachers on how to use Minecraft for education in the classroom. But ultimately, I decided to take it forward by myself because it had changed my way of thinking. Because I found it quite more appealing to learn from games, because visuals attract us more than just normal text. And we'll be able to remember the concept when we see it other than when we read it. Because if I'm saying a word, for example, cat, so you get a picture of a cat inside your brain's peripheral memory, but not the word cat, right? So I just got myself familiar with the tutorials that I watched, and I became friendly with the Minecraft characters and explored the entire inventory. And well, if people want to know more about my adventures, you can of course check out my book. It's Each One Teached and the Journey Continues. And I started converting one of my history lessons in grade 6 on Egyptian civilization into Minecraft. And to my surprise, the lesson was a great success because both teachers and students were happy with the outcomes. And the teachers observed that the students were more engaged with self-paced learning, since they could revisit the concepts that they did not understand, as well as perform the evaluation in a non-threatening environment. So keeping
in mind that this vision has empowered me, I decided to train teachers and peers, not just in my school, but also in my region, country, and other countries worldwide, employing game based learning in the classroom, as well as creating course materials with Minecraft. And through that, I'm proud to say that I am a global teacher at the age of 17. Now I just turned 17. And I believe in my motto that's called Each One Teach 10. And with this credo, I've been able to spend the last 6 years designing and delivering free of cost coding workshops for more than 15,000 teachers, young people, especially girls in India and all over the world. As well as I've been able to empower young people to run their own ventures, and just seeing them, starting their own ventures such as podcasts or startups just gives me the feeling that I've given my 1 cent to my motto. And with this, I've been able to raise awareness about social issues using game-based learning with STEM. So yeah, that's all about my journey.
It was great hearing you. Everyone had their smiles on because it's so motivating to see you working so hard at this age, and you joined in your school uniform from your school. It is itself very motivating and inspiring. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Last but not the least, we have Ansuya.
Thank you, Prachi, and the entire BTI team for bringing these panelists together. Each one of them. So my journey sector, or I would say, bringing change started off when I started my school from sixth grade. So uh, most of the motivation or inspiration that uh, status or my family background community I belong to. So I belong to a community where still considered as an unaffordable luxury. People do not invest in education till now. And when I being from a family which has so many people, I myself is like still only two of us are studying, and only two of us completed. I was fortunate enough to complete my fifth grade in my school in my village, and then I got an opportunity to apply for an entrance exam for Vidyagan school. I got selected and started my educational journey. It was a turning point in my life where I could step out of the village, a community which has never seen or sent a child outside its boundaries to study or for any matter. And I was sent to Bulandshahr to study, and that was a turning point because I could see a world beyond the early marriages, early those how all those family drama or anything that happens in rural community or patriarchal conservative society till now. And when I was in school, we all of us were of the same background, and all of us came together to start up a club that was called So Hamari Prasad Nari. And in the nearby villages, we used to go take up sessions on like women empowerment, higher education for girls, and other issues such as menstrual hygiene and mental well-being of women in the rural areas, because we knew that that community we belong to, these issues are still ignored and not addressed, and we wanted that because we have gotten the opportunity, we should also bring together all of those who are left behind. So our journey started from there, and then I came to Delhi, started my education in LS of 100% scholarship. I was still a backbencher in my classroom because despite being toppers in our respective boards, some of these students like me, we still find ourselves confined in that zone. Did not ever see that diversity that city had, and we wanted, like, we thought that this is not the place where we wanted to come. Hard we came to Delhi University, and still we are facing the same issues of neglected and marginalization, and that's the point. And I group to group became a platform where students like me and my friends could come together
Still everyone is joining in. We are getting a couple of questions already, and the attendees are increasing, so that's amazing. And of course, we would request, I think it's already half past the time, so it's already 1:30. So we will try to make sure that the questions are briefer from our side so that we can take up as many questions from the audience. Prachi, till the time Anasuya is coming. Okay, she's here already. Anasuya, is it working now?
Am I audible?
I don't think so, actually. You can try one more time. Okay, till the time Anasuya is just sorting that out, Prachi, let's move on to the next question then. We still have two more common questions for the entire panel. So, Prachi, over to you.
Yeah, sure. So it was all great to hear to all of your journeys. So building on to this discussion, my next question is that as we start on to bringing change in the societies, we are expected to face challenges. So what were the challenges that you faced? And since this is a youth panel, do you think that age often becomes a barrier or is it an advantage instead? We can start with Namya's perspective on this.
Sure, thank you so much. And this is actually a really important question because every journey comes with challenges. And yeah, I did face a few challenges to name a few. The first one was the gender disparity in the field of gaming, and especially what I focus is education in gaming. So, like when I began, I was looked down upon because of being a girl and being involved using games for education. So I had seen like people in my immediate vicinity being hooked on number of hours on multiplayer. But looking at them, I felt proud of myself that I am using games for a positive purpose to make the classrooms more lively, make sure that the class has a better connection between teachers and students, and that worked out because later those people came to me and appreciated me for my work. So I never took it at my heart because I believe challenges are part of life. When every challenge comes with an opportunity, you just have to grab it and take the best step ahead. And just that made me realize that let your work speak and not your gender. But the most important challenge was using games in education because games, in a way, are thought upon as distractions by a lot of people. And when I mentioned about getting, not able to get help from my teachers in the beginning, was because of the fact that they were a little bit doubtful of games being used in the classrooms because students may get involved in the particular gaming side of gaming, but not just using for education. But then when I made my first lesson and I shared that with my teacher, she realized the outcomes. Similarly, that's how it spread that games, especially Minecraft, could be used in education when it comes to mapping it towards educational goals, such as for introducing the chapter, for summating the chapter, for reflection inside Minecraft itself, and app smashing it with different applications to take quizzes, or also giving the entire content of the chapter. So, to give an example, the teachers have used them in my school for, you know, introducing the topic of respiratory system, or when it comes to taking evaluation and reflection of students for chapters in mathematics such as area and volume, which have shown better results in the class. So that basically helped me to step out of the challenge and solve it, as well as being able to prove that yes, when used for the best purpose, games and any way of using technology for learning can be the best tool ever for making classrooms more engaging. And to your second question, is age often a barrier? I don't think so. Age is never a barrier when it comes to doing something. You can even start something at 6 or even 60. All you just need to have is passion and dedication. And it is actually an advantage because I believe, if I'm talking about the youth, they are more adaptable, open to new ideas, and in this rapidly evolving world, being able to open to change and being quick to learn is actually a very good advantage for them. And what I believe is younger individuals offer fresh ideas as well as focus on innovation because we know what the root cause is, that is creating mishaps around the world. And together, when we are working in teams, we can focus upon bringing a change to solve the problems across the world.
That's true. The panel today itself speaks that no matter like younger or older, if you have the will to do something, then to just get started with it. Akansha, we can start with you.
Sure. So your first question about the challenges, of course, like there were a lot of challenges, but the biggest one that I have faced as of now, and I'm still kind of facing, is actually solving the problem. See, like everyone out here, and we just want to help out people in different ways possible. But at the end of the day, after doing maybe a clothes distribution drive or a food distribution drive, did we actually solve it? Like, I cannot, realistically speaking, do it every single day of their life, or I can be a part of their lives on a scalable basis where I can help as many people as I can. The whole question comes around, how do I actually help them in a way where they don't even need me at the end of the day? So that has been my biggest challenge as of now, where we have been taking multiple initiatives and multiple drives, but we haven't been able to exactly solve it. So recently, one of the initiatives we started is Think Big Fellowship, where we have kind of gathered around strategists across Delhi University, NIF, IITs, all the change makers who can think and solve the problems by filling the gap. Now, these guys, we have adopted like two slum communities in Delhi for starters, one at Khyber Pass Civil Line and one at Shastri Nagar, where instead of doing like just short term drives, we are thinking on long term community based development. Now, these guys, these fellows that we have recruited or we have hired for with a team, they'll be doing on ground research, and they will be understanding what are the actual root cause and problems of these community, and then they will be solving them accordingly. So instead of just going to places and then trying to solve it with short term solutions, I think a long term fix or a long term planning is something which is lagging as of now, at least when I say about my whole journey. So this is one of the biggest challenges we have faced. And as far as the age is considered, always a pro. So young people, I absolutely love working with young ones, even like younger than me. Like I see and just seeing Namya and Naman, I mean, looking at their age, I started when I was like 17, 18. So when I look at these guys sitting in like 10th class and what 16 age, it's a big thing. And having ideas like that, bringing so much to the table. And the best part is when you get to an age, you start accepting things the way it is being shown to you. ऐसा ही होता है, लोग ऐसे ही रहते हैं, जानवरों को ऐसे ही रखा जाता है. But the young ones, they're always going to change. अच्छा क्यों? They are. So the young ones, they know how to ask questions and how to make things work according to them, and how to make things work as they should be instead of how it has always been. So yes, age is always a number, but as everything in the world, nothing is black and white. Of course, somewhere in the middle of gray, there is some lack of experience when it comes with age, and lack of acceptance from people. If I am going to community, अब कोई 30 साल का बंदा आएगा, people will be more accepting towards, अच्छा, they want to help me, they can help me, or they have it in them to actually make my life change or help me through that. But if a 15-year-old is gonna approach a person, अच्छा आप क्या करते हैं, मैं आपकी कैसे help कर सकता हूँ, of course there will be some kind of restraint in acceptance. However, both the cons, lack of experience and acceptance, can be turned into pros with time. You just start going there, you start interact with them, you come with your ideas, you come with your energy out there at the table, and of course everyone, once you want to actually bring a change, when you want to make it happen, it will happen. So more or less, I guess that has been my whole journey, and especially the challenges. And I'm genuinely hoping, like after this panel, we are getting into a conversation with these young change makers, where how we can use these ideas to help each other's communities that we have already adopted, or how we are working forward to it. So yeah, that's all. Passing on to you again, Prachi.
That's true. Thank you, Akansha, for sharing your insights. We can start with Ansuya. I hope your network is fine now. You can unmute it.
Is it fine?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah. So, shall I start the second question that you asked?
Shall I repeat the question for you? I'll repeat the question for you. Yeah. So
Sure.
I asked that in your journey, what were the challenges that you faced? And since this is a youth panel, do you think that age often becomes a barrier or is it an advantage instead?
Okay. So, like because I have with different categories of people, like with the women in rural area as well as I told in children in slum areas. Uh, uh, of has a lot in from spaces that they the color that they from and the practice that they follow. We were working with women in a rural area, so it comes with resilience and then said that they do accept things easily, even though we tried that this is good, this is bad, and we are ready to send that us in a space where we can cut a session or we take workshops on because they found very because not aligned to their mind, their thought process, and is of no use to them because ultimately that in will they do not have and getting rid of and rearing children. So that was one aspect of the problem. And spaces people there is they move to the place for those um,
I'm sorry to
people are
interrupt. I'm sorry, your network is still not like fine. Your voice is not coming.
oh,
Can you please recheck? You can try speaking now as your video is turned off.
uh, is it okay?
Not really.
Okay.
No worries. I think till the time Anasuya is just figuring that out, I think Naman also over to you to answer the question.
Thank you, Palak. I think it's a wonderful question, in fact, and I mean, I absolutely agree to what Namya and Akansha were saying, and I couldn't gather what Anisya was saying. Anisya was because of the internet issues, but looking forward to hearing what she has to say as well. If I answer the age part of the question first, I think I have my perspective towards this is maybe slightly different than everybody else's, but I think that when you talk about age, I believe it's neither a barrier nor an advantage and completely agreeing to one thing which Anakansha said was that age is just a number. So I think instead of talking about age being a barrier and advantage, I think it's all about your perspective and how open-minded one can be. You can have a 75-year-old man being more open-minded and being more welcoming than a 30-year-old man in comparison to a 15-year-old man, right? Now it's just depending upon how intellectual someone can be, and of course that comes with experience, but that also comes with how you have trained your own self in terms of self-learning, not what others teach you, but what you teach your own self by observing what's happening around. So, in that context, I'd like to say that age is neither a barrier nor is it an advantage. It's a factor which plays its role in different things. But when it comes to change, I believe it's something which is centric towards your personality development and it's also centric towards your thoughts and your ideas. In coming towards what my problem, which I've been facing, is uh, also something which Akanksha mentioned, that sometimes a 15-year-old boy won't be taken as seriously as a 30-year-old boy when you go up to them and ask कि आपको हमसे क्या help चाहिए. That's something which I faced for a really long part of my life, and since when I started Hari Koshish, I was doing different tasks alone because I was unable to gather people of my similar who like-minded or who want to develop change in my community and my school. I started with it alone because I was like, one person has to start, if not 10. And when it started, one of the major issues I faced was not being able to catch the right audience who are in agreement to what I'm saying and who understand what's going on, or even if who are even 0.1% interested to listen to what I'm here to say. Another factor was being taken seriously by different groups of people of different backgrounds, in terms of the fact that, again, age is just a number. It doesn't matter how old or how young I am to do what I'm doing, because we have so many young people doing absolutely amazing things and so many elderly also doing absolutely amazing things in the world as well. That's one of the issues which I faced, which I believe I've countered now, and I'm still in the process of countering, is again by your actions speak louder than your words. So doing what you can do in terms of your own capacity and then growing. I started to spread the word about my organization amongst my friends, and I reached out to my school's principal and vice principal, whom very grateful to them as well, who actually helped me out by spreading the word about my organization within our school, when I could reach out to more students and more people from different grades. And that's when I actually got an idea as to the fact that I'm not the only person who wants to drive change. There are different people who want to drive change. It's just that everybody is looking forward to a particular platform which enables them, and which gives the youth not just a seat on the table but also a say on the table, in a metaphorical manner. Now that's one of the challenges I faced. And in terms of another way of overcoming these challenges, which I'm sure many of the attendees might also be facing, is something absolutely which I think is important that we implement in the world of today, is digital infrastructure and connectivity. Because I think prioritizing digital infrastructure and connectivity in terms of where the expansion can reach, and online learning tools for students, are especially those in remote or underserviced areas, it's very important, because not only can it be made affordable considering the the magnitude of technology usage that we're currently reaching in the world of today, but also it can be made practical with the help of the different tools that we have, and better connect generation to generation, community to community. So I think that's where the core of it all lies.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. I was going to say that, I was waiting for all the panelists to highlight whether age is a benefit or a disadvantage. And I wanted to highlight it's neither. It depends on number one, your skills and your mindset. And number two, in what aspect are you actually working with other age groups? That also matters a lot. So, yeah, definitely, I agree with everybody. Prachi, let's dive into the individual questions now. I'm really excited to hear more about your opinions on your specific journeys and the work that you do.
Yeah, sure. Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Yes. So, Namya, since you
Yes.
have been involved in the spaces of education and technology, so considering the rapid advancements in technology, how do you think that we can leverage digital tools and innovative learning methods to make education more accessible and engaging for everyone? And like, how can we make sure that it is also accessible, particularly for the marginalized communities and people with different learning needs?
Well, that's a really important question, and a question that actually comes in everybody's mind, that how can we make technology accessible to everybody? Well, first and foremost, we have to focus upon the root cause of this, and that can be solved when we understand the needs of marginalized communities, because they have people with different learning needs. This can be done through specific research about these communities when people are focusing upon creating solutions for them. Secondly, when the done researching, I think designing accessibility since the beginning is very important, because if you're using digital tools and learning methods, and when you're creating the platform for them, first of all, inculcating accessibility features such as visual and hearing impairments, and as well as people with other disabilities. For instance, immersive reader can always help out. as well as it is important to provide support to students as well as people who need additional assistance. This can include counseling services or focusing upon peer groups. But when it comes to the youth, I think we have discussed this thing, age being a barrier and a 15-year-old, 30-year-old. Just to add here, I think the youth is acceptable to learn from different things. We may be, quite creative, but the elder people have experience. So when both of these things combine, we basically have a win-win situation right here. And as we're going through the fourth industrial revolution right now, our country focuses a lot upon digital India with the booming industrial technology. And in the sector of social media, our biggest role model can be our own Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. And just to add, the example chosen, like how he's been promoting technology and how the government has been making technology accessible for communities, and this way we able to learn from him how to make barriers into accessibility and how to transform them. And in this way, we've been able to provide facilities such as internet or connectivity to different areas, access to devices, and as in today's generation, almost everybody owns a device. So it should be made sure that the people and literally everybody has access to digital tools as well as innovative learning methods. So even if it's a person who's living in a city, in an urban area, as well as rural areas, if you have a device, you'll be able to get access to the same quality of the learning method other than the quantity of the learning method.
Yes, I completely agree with you that if efforts are put into the technology, then education can be made inclusive and accessible to all. Thank you so much, Namna.
Thank you.
My next question is for Akansha. So, Akansha, given your experience in working with communities and with the community of like-minded people, how important do you think is community action? And like, what are some actions that communities can take to take forward the agenda of SDG 4, which is the quality education, SDG 5, which is gender equality, and SDG 13, which is climate change?
Okay, so I'll just move back to my first example where I told you about how I actually started. And I used to like go around with my father distributing stuff. It was just the two of us. And I think we could help around 30, 40, sometimes 100, but I don't think I've ever crossed 150 ever. And today, if I'm saying we have served 28 lakh plus people, that's what the difference community action brings. So alone इतना ही कर सकते हैं यार अकेले, but like when you get around with people with different skill sets especially, you can do so much there. Now I'll just give you a quick example. When we were starting and we were gathering and we were making a team, I am a person with strong PR and marketing skills. I gathered someone who can do the finances better than me. You cannot be an all person who can do everything. If I need someone who can raise funds for the community work we want to do, I need someone who is very good with that. Similarly, there are a lot of requirements to it looks like that you're just helping someone. It's a whole thing together. You have so many roles, you have so many requirements. I think people who are running their organizations, they can understand it pretty well. There is, when you start, you are your social media head, you are your PR head, you are your treasurer, you are your everything. It's slowly and gradually you start getting people who can even do that better than you, so that you can do, of course, the leading part and the brainstorming part of it. So that's what I say community action means, when you're getting a good team and you can plan it better, where you can help more people with the limited time and the actual limited resources you have. So of course community action help, community team working in a community helps, if I tell you in those simple words. Now talking about SDGs, see, we have been working on different projects, so not restricting to these specific SDGs. There's one thing we have been specially focusing on is SDG for quality education, because I personally feel any problem you tell me, any problem in the community, the answer is education. You tell me the problem, I can do all the mixed matches, and the end answer and end solution will be educate these people, help them understand things, and they can solve it for themselves. Something on those lines. So for education, we have been taking a multiple initiatives where see पहले क्या होता था, लगता था कि यार हम ही अच्छा करने वाले, हम बस किसी की हेल्प करना चाहते हैं, बहुत लोगों को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. My perspective have changed when I have actually started doing more. I've realized there are so many people who want to do but they don't know how to do it. So this quality education thing, what we did in the past few years, we connected these people together, the ones who are in need of education with the ones who can actually provide some. Imagine you guys are in schools right now. Delhi University, they have how many colleges you guys have right now. These students who have some spare time, they can take out 1 hour a week. That's all we are asking right now. And how many students they can teach. So that's how we arranged a lot of, we had a volunteership program where people, they can go for summer volunteership programs. They can teach these young ones who are in need of that. Similarly, there is this library on wheels project we started, where of course, Namya, what you will do of your school books when you have passed out your class? You are not holding on to your second class book, right? You can give it to someone who's going to read the second class books because they don't have it. So that's how things work. So community action along with strategic planning where you can solve a problem, and it's all about connecting dots. So all this helps a lot only and only when you have a good team. Frankly speaking, I am so proud of the team we have right now. Alone we could have done nothing. Speaking nothing right now. Even this panel would have taken, I think, a team of at least 5-6 people to gather speakers, then gather attendees, and of course, what is the topic, what are the questions, how we'll go about it. So it takes a lot more than it looks like. So more or less, community action is the thing for like a scalable purpose, if I tell you, and you can help a lot more people than you intend to if you have a good team. So yeah, that's all. Passing on back to you, Prachi.
Yes, completely agreed, Akansha, that working with like-minded people as a community and when collective action is taken and efforts are taken, not only SDGs, we can achieve our goals as well and to make change in the society. Thank you so much. So my next question is for Naman. So since Naman, you are running an organization called Hari Koshish. So we would like to know more about how one can be involved in climate action in creating a greener tomorrow at an individual level. Along with that, how do you think sustainability and climate action should be included in education?
Right. Thank you for that question. I think it's a wonderful question addressing the uh, two of the most critical aspects of being a climate activist and working towards a greener tomorrow. To answer your first part about what one can do, I think the first step towards achieving or towards carrying out any solution or any solution-driven approach is understanding the problem. Now, if I don't understand problem XYZ and someone's coming up to me and telling me to solve the problem XYZ, it's really unfair for me because if I don't know what I'm solving, there's absolutely no possible way that I can think of a solution for the same, right? And a best way to learn is, according to me, and I'm sure many of you will also agree, is experiencing. Experiential learning is going to be the key and the crust of anything in the world of today, and of course in the upcoming generations. Now, if I will talk about the impacts of global warming, and I'm discussing this with someone who is living in a more of an urban setting, and I discuss it with someone who is in a marginalized community, maybe at the sea coast, where they're forced to evacuate because of rising sea levels here and there. And as soon as you set up a house and you are not even a house, a hut or a hovel or something where you can live, and then 2 days later you're forced to evacuate that to go to some other place. And if to both of them and who are not given any direct form of climate education, you talk to them, you'll actually understand how someone understands the problem, but not in the scientific terms or in the fancy words that we're putting it in. So the first thing I think one should do is experiential learning. And one of the ways that you can do that sitting in urban centers is calculating a carbon footprint. So we at Harikoshish have our own model of calculating carbon footprint, and we organize workshops in different schools and colleges. So we've done some of them in my school, that is the Sri Ram Millennium School, Noida, and we've done them in the St. Columba's Boys School, including some universities like IIT Delhi, Triple IT Delhi, and Shiv Nadar University, wherein we organize workshops to help people to calculate their carbon footprint and how they realize that, right now, if I talk to someone about your carbon footprint, that is the carbon emission, and we talk about, let's say, carrying a bag, you'll understand that, okay, taking a plastic bag from the vendor is carbon emissions, but carrying our own jute bag is no carbon emissions. Here's where the misconception lies. Of course, taking a bag from the vendor has carbon emissions, but carrying your own jute bag also has some carbon emissions because that was also produced in some factory at some point of time. So not only understanding what to do and when to do, but also understanding how to do it and how to correctly manifest the perfect way of doing it is an important factor about this. And another thing which I want to add about what individuals can do regarding solving the problem of SDG 4 and of course climate action, climate education as well, is to follow the basic principles. Now, if I were to ask any of the 23 attendees and any of the past attendees we had, or what are the 3 R's, you'll immediately tell me reduce, reuse, recycle. What are they? Everybody will be able to tell me, right? But when you talk about implementing, reducing something, reusing something, and recycling something, it's not just about knowing the definition and saying it out loud whenever you're asked in a millisecond, but it's also about implementing certain basic utilizations of these 3 R's into your daily system. And another 4th R, which I would like to personally add into these 3 R's, is R for refuse. Knowing when you can refuse something and knowing when you have to necessarily accept. Fast fashion is upcoming, right? Now you can't tell the Generation Z or the upcoming generations to quit fast fashion or to not change your outfits for every coming party. You can't do that because that's not practical. Again, something is invented, it's difficult to get rid of that thing. Rather than it's better to implement that thing in a manner wherein there is an agreement rather than dissatisfaction. And to match that agreement, it's important to understand that okay, continue fast fashion, but maybe opt for brands like Neiman's that are converting plastic bottles into shoes, making them fancy, comfortable, and sustainable, right? But then also refusing at a point. Maybe not changing a t-shirt every party, maybe alternate. So that's something which I'd like to put. And just to answer what we've been doing at Hari Koshish, Prachi, if you could repeat the second part of the question, please.
Yes, sure. Yeah, so I was saying that how do you think sustainability and climate action should be included in education?
Wonderful. So to answer that, maybe one line is going to be enough. Whenever I speak to someone and I tell them about my work, the response I get is, "Oh wow, that's wonderful for your co-curricular activities." I think that's where the entire problem lies. Climate education is no longer a co-curricular activity; it's very much in curriculum, right? Even sports, for that matter of fact. I don't think these things, when we term them as co-curricular, the focus automatically shifts from science to climate education as two separate things, from sports to science as two separate things. But when you talk about sports, what is it? It's utilizing your body in the best way possible. What is that? Learning about biology. When you talk about climate change, it's your biogeochemical cycles. What is that? All sciences and geography as well. So it's not co-curricular, it's very much in curriculum. And also understanding that when I say entrepreneurship, right? When I talk to you about entrepreneurship, you don't think of a job, you think of a skill. Entrepreneurship is a skill that you implement in your jobs and whatever you're doing. Similarly, I believe in the concept of green skills more than green jobs. We don't need more green jobs. We need people to have green skills so they can implement these skills in whatever workforce they're a part of so that we have maximum efficiency in terms of leading a sustainable life ahead, right? And that is where the concept of green skills lies, which is something which we also have in our workshop models where we talk to students and college going young adults about green skills and how you can implement small things in your daily day-to-day routines and how you can be a climate warrior in the simplest of things possible because you don't realize how much of an impact it can create. And just to sort of end this, I know I'm stretching it a lot, but it's a quote by a very famous influencer which I really agree with. एक के करने से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता लेकिन एक एक के करने से बहुत फर्क पड़ता है और इन दोनों में भी सिर्फ एक का ही फर्क है. So I think when you understand that is when you're actually going towards a progressive community. Thanks.
That was lovely, Naman. And I was just going to add one small thing. I think, number one, I love the quote that you just mentioned. We actually had a question in the rapid fire stating what is one quote you would want to give. I think that's the steal deal for today. The second thing is the moment you mentioned fast fashion, I had to include something. I think I've said this in many places as well that we can't simply replace our entire wardrobes with sustainable fabrics. I don't think that's feasible for us as humans because we need fashion, we need fashionable clothes, we need affordable, right? And sadly, at the moment we don't have too many sustainable options for that. But what we can do is understand, okay, is it necessary to buy a new thing for every place I go? Or maybe since it is so pretty and since I've put my money into it, maybe let's reuse it for another outfit. And maybe just reuse it again with that mindset. So I absolutely agree with that. Thank you so much. And sorry for cutting you off.
That's all right.
Thank you,
But
Naman, for adding such valuable points to the discussion. We will try to implement them from our side as well. I hope Ansuya's network is better now.
Hello.
Yes, Ansuya, we can hear you. Am I audible? So her network, I guess, is again.
I think Anusya is trying to say something, but Anusya, if possible, if you can turn on your volume.
The voice is coming low, I guess.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
Go ahead, Anusya. We can hear you, I think. So
Uh,
we can't hear you, right? Okay.
I guess he's facing the issue again and again. That's why.
Yeah.
Shall I move ahead then?
I think we will have to. But again, Anusya, if at any moment you feel that you are able to join in, please do. Yeah, I think her audio isn't quite audible, honestly. Okay, let's move on to the rapid fire then. Prachi, go ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. This brings us to the end of the panel Q&A. We are grateful for your willingness to contribute, and the work you all are doing is just amazing. And all the best for your journeys ahead. Now I'll pass on to Parthiv for a fun rapid fire question. Thank you so much.
Hello, am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay. So I'll be going ahead with four questions. Four questions are for all the four speakers, right? So I'll be asking each question, and again, four of you have to answer them, right? So the first question is one word that encapsulates your vision for the future of education, especially concerning youth empowerment and sustainability under SDG 4. So yeah, Namya, go ahead.
Guys, the only criteria for the rapid fire is you can't take more than 10 seconds to answer. It's the raw first answer that you get in your mind. Yes, Namya, go ahead. Namya.
Okay, for me, it's bright because when lots of youth people come together with different organizations and different visions combined together, we can see a bright future of technology and education together.
Lovely. Going ahead with Akanksha.
I think it's aspiration for me because, like, as I mentioned even before, education I feel like is the solution for everything. So once you have something to dream about, once you have some problems, of course, that's where you're looking forward to. Yeah.
Lovely. Naman.
For me, it will be progressive because I think it's only going ahead, no coming back anymore.
Right. And Ansuya, if you can speak, you can go ahead.
Audible.
Yeah, you are.
I would exclusive. Hello.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was is, like a lot has been done. Still, there's best inclusivity is the one that requires at each and every aspect in education. So yeah.
Okay, your voice was still breaking actually. Okay, coming back to the next question. Next question is one moment of 2023 which was memorable. It could be in terms of the impact you created and initiative you became a part of. So, going ahead with Nami again.
So for me, that would be get becoming the top 50 Global Student Prize recipient. And well, this was all because of all the hard work that paid off. I believe every accolade is just to remind you of the fact that you're on the right path. You just have to keep on continuing and give back to the society because it has done a lot for you.
Lovely, lovely. Akanksha?
For me, the best part of 2023 for this fellowship, Think Big fellowship that we started, and this was a proud moment where we adopted two slums with 350 people. So that was kind of my best part of 2023.
Lovely. Naman, you can go ahead.
I think it will be giving my first TEDx talk. It really helped me learn about myself better and also listen to other young people who were part of the panel at TEDx Spectrum TSMS Noida. And it also showed me that it's a long way ahead. This is just the beginning.
Great, great. Going ahead with Ansuya, if you can speak, you can go ahead.
Anusia, if it's possible, if you can also add your comments in the chat, at least for the rapid fire, because a lot of audience members have wanted to also hear your opinions. So, again, if the audio isn't possible, please add in the chat and don't take more than 10 seconds because this is a rapid fire. Yes, Parthiv, go ahead.
Yeah. So the next question is, what is one initiative you are looking forward to in 2024? So again, Nami again, go ahead.
Sure. So I'm still looking forward, to keep on coming with more podcasts that I have my own podcast. So coming up with more episodes as well as focusing upon releasing my second book. And most importantly, on 25th and 26th, I'll be going to UK to be the keynote speaker at BET 2024. That's the world's biggest technology education platform. To talk about education with technology, with Minecraft, and about my journey. And that's what I look forward for. But most importantly, again, spreading my motto each one teach 10 through gamification and education and making sure everybody in this world spreads that ripple reaction.
Great. Kanksha, go ahead.
Yeah. So one initiative that I'm strongly looking forward to in this, especially this year, is Bully Fool campaign, where we are basically talking about bullying, how it's this big. Like we don't even realize its importance at this moment. But as a kid, I was bullied and I had zero self-confidence. And I do realize the consequences it has and how it changes your life. So we are having this whole campaign where we will be running for school students and also college students with nukkad nataks and other creative forms where we can make them realize how important it is to be sensitive towards each other, understand where they need to seek help, and when to stop, when it's a joke and when it's not. More or less that. And before passing it on to back to you again, Namya, very cool. Like I would love to know more about both of your work, but this was actually very cool. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Off to Naman.
Yeah. So the first thing I'm really looking forward to with 2024 is a campaign where we're wanting to merge youth councils with parliamentary councils, something I want to take up as a 28 for 28 change maker with Canada High Commission and Bal Raksha Bharat. And another thing, if I can add, is expanding more and more each year.
That was great. Ansuya, you can again, if you can speak, you can, or else you can also comment if it is possible.
I think she has commented there.
Yeah, there's something in the chat.
So I should go ahead with the last question. So
Parthiv, sorry to interrupt before you
yes,
go
sir.
ahead. If I can just say one thing. Also
Sure.
looking forward to COP29.
Lovely. Yeah. Okay, so the last question is if you could give a piece of advice to young leaders striving for sustainable education, what would it be? So, off to Nami again.
Sure, my advice would be to follow your passion. Most importantly, is to keep on sharing what you learn, because the more you share, the better you become. And that's how everybody can share, learn, and grow together. And that is exactly what each one teach 10 means. And most importantly, is to stay true to yourself, yet always open to learn. Always work hard, never give up on your dreams, even if nobody else believes in you.
Great, awesome. Going ahead with Akanksha.
Oh, so there's one thing again. I believe a lot in my father, so I keep mentioning him again and again. He keeps saying this thing, खुद ही को करो इतना बुलंद कि दुनिया पूछे तुम्हारी राह क्या है. I believe to, I strongly believe in that one single thing and one saying that I've kept with myself. So, firstly, be close to people who inspire you. Again, network with as many people as you want to, who have like-minded thoughts and who want to create a change. And don't stop. You might feel like you're not in the right direction. Of course, keep analyzing again and again, because we all do. We keep diverting from our real path or the real passion we are very strongly feel about. So just stay true to that, be on the same path, and at the same time, just network with these guys whenever you feel like. Try to analyze more and more about what you are doing. At the end of the day, if you're self-reflecting, I feel like you will go a long way. That's all, Parthiv.
Right, right. That was awesome. Going ahead with Naman.
Yeah, I'm sorry if my voice is cracking. It's just I'm facing some network issues at this
No,
moment.
it is
But
it's completely
okay,
perfect.
lovely. So, yeah, then to answer your question, what I want to say to everybody out there is find your own way and find what suits you. There is no rigidity in this particular field. It's everything flexible. So explore and then do you.
Great, great. That's great. So, Ansuya, again, you can comment down your thoughts. I would like to hand over the mic to Purushottama and Ritika now. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, guys, for taking part in the rapid fire. I think the questions are inspiring, and the answers are even more inspiring because all of you guys have said everything from your own experiences. So it's lovely to hear that. We have a lot of questions. Let's just hope we are able to cover a few of them. So yes, Purushottama and Ritika, go ahead.
Hello everyone, I am Purushottama Chhabra, a creative design intern at Break.The.Ice. I am currently pursuing BCom Honours at Gargi College, Delhi University. I'll be moderating the Q&A session today along with my partner Ritika.
Hi everyone, I'm basically the head of the ambassadors at Break the Ice, and I'm also a 12th grade student at Delhi Public School Bhopal. And again, I'm here with Purushottama to handle the Q&A panel.
So I'm pretty certain that all of us have had an amazing learning experience listening to the diverse perspectives around SDG 4 from our ever so inspiring panel. In regards with that, do we have any questions from our live audience right now? You may drop your questions in the live chat. In the meanwhile, let's begin with the questions that we have already gathered from our audience.
So the very first question is, how can a larger youth population be made aware towards adopting sustainable measures outside of the school curriculum? We'll first ahead go with Namya.
Sure. So to make sure everybody is aware about sustainability as well as focusing upon, globalization in a way, I believe most importantly is to inculcate such activities in the curriculum itself. Because most of the time we spend during the school days focusing upon, just the concept that are read in the books, and that's all that we do in school. Sometimes we do have extracurricular activities, but when we're, adding such as different competitions that focus on SDG goals, or in a way that is again focusing about climate and sustainability, students are given more awareness about what exactly is the challenge that we are facing right now. And in a way, they will start researching in teams that again helps to build collaboration and communication to foster more ideas to solve the global issues. And in this way, they become more aware individuals. And to give an example, we've had several Minecraft build challenges that have been um, organized, wherein students have to choose any 2 or 3 SDG goals and then create some solutions to solve the problems that are catering to the SDG goals. In this way, they're having a gaming experience. They're able to collaborate with friends as well as with new teammates who they might not have met before. That's able to foster empathy in them. And then the main purpose is being solved that through gaming, and they're able to create what they want to see as a solution. So it is not just a presentation of giving ideas that this is what we want to change, but showcasing that through an immersive environment wherein people can come and look at what would the world look like when the problems are being solved using particular solutions. That can be one example. Most importantly, awareness drives can be conducted with students being the leaders of certain groups like that. And we've always had, student-led clubs be conducted in my school, wherein students are conducting clubs upon climate sustainability, on SDG goals, wherein they are training and giving insights to fellow students. And that again is a very big example of student empowerment. So here would be some ideas and some ways of, empowering students regarding climate, sustainability, and SDGs.
Thank you for such a great answer. We'll move ahead to Akansha.
Thanks, Ritika. So see, what happens is, जो दिखता नहीं है ना, we never believe it's true. I don't know if the Earth is goal or not, it's circular or not. That's the hypothesis people used to have earlier until it was scientifically proven. So now, when you say climate action, climate change, I don't care about it because I don't know, I can't see it. It's not directly impacting me. So one thing I feel is, until unless these children, or especially if I'm talking about school students right now, okay, school students, they have seen the consequences of all the things that are happening, the changes that are happening. They won't understand the magnitude of the problem, and if they need to solve it, they're a part of it. It's their future they're actually taking care of, not someone else's. So going for some visits where we feel like, they can actually see the problem. I am talking about a small Yamuna Ghat cleanliness drive. Just go to the Yamuna Ghat. People who have seen it there, look at the pollution there. There's so many things like that. So I think some activities like that, other than your academics, of course, where you concepts are important because they help you understand, okay, this is A, this is B. But when you actually want to see an apple, you have to show them an apple. So more or less, if you're actually showing them the places where this is happening, how these guys are being affected, the people it is affecting directly, that's people, and of course animals as well, how it's affecting them directly, that's how you show it to them. At a very young age, they understand the consequences and the magnitude of it, and they somehow, I am not saying in a class of 60 people will get empowered by it or they'll change, but I can guarantee you at least 30 or 40 will. So of course that helps a lot, and this is not a fight for a day, this is more of something that is going to change over the time. So with education, and especially in your beginning nascent stages, this helps a lot. So that's all.
I definitely agree with your opinion. As someone, like, it's very important to understand that when you're able to see something, you know much more about why you want to act for it because you understand the consequences much better. Next up, let's go ahead with Naman.
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I logged off when you were asking.
Yeah, sure. So the question is, how can a larger youth population be made aware about adopting sustainable measures outside of the school curriculum?
Okay, so I think India has a very large young human resource base. So I think it already gives us a big advantage in terms of driving the much needed change. And for the first time, I think it's all about inspiring and awareing the youth, which I think one of the best ways to do that is social media. Because I mean, all of us, or most of us have some account and some platform on social media, and we have some influencers we're looking up to, we're looking forward to. And when you see certain influencers setting an influence, setting something in terms of maybe what shoes they're wearing, everybody wants to buy those shoes, right? So when we have influencers talking about important issues and merging the important issues with their own target audience, and we have multiple influencers doing that. We have the expansion at manifold, and there is much more spread of the change that we want to require from the influencers. And since all influencers have certain target audiences, it will be beneficial for them to utilize this potential and spread it across different types of and groups of people who are interested in different things, so that we have all collective action and a collective pact. I hope I was able to answer it well. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Anusya, if you can, speak, please just like convey your answer, or you can also type in the chat. I think we can go ahead with the next question, Purushottama.
Yes, Anusya will be waiting for your answer in the chat box. Meanwhile, I think Naman's answer really gave us a good head start towards our next question, and understanding the digital world that we live in. I think it's imperative that we ask that how can our tech savvy generation ensure that we leverage the power of social media to amplify the impact and raise our disciples virtually in order to break the gender stereotypes. We can begin with Namya.
Sure, thank you so much. That's a really important question because social media actually plays a really important role in our lives. Because everybody is hooked upon different accounts, like Naman mentioned. And I think most importantly, digital platforms again can be used to connect young people from different parts of the world and can be encouraged, we can encourage them to collaborate on projects that are promoting sustainability, gender equality, and many more. And most importantly, like I am a believer in gamification. I think gamification again can be used as a really powerful tool for young people to get engaged by creating games that, or even playing games that focus upon such issues in a fun and interactive way. Social media campaigns again can be used to create awareness, to basically share information, raise awareness, and promote a positive change. And what I totally believe is being a digital citizen. And that comes with its 5 parameters: that you are inclusive because you're engaging with others online with respect and empathy. Then you're informed because you're able to evaluate the accuracy, perspective, and validity of any information available online. Thirdly, you're engaged because you're using technology for civic engagement and also being a force of good. Fourthly, you're balanced, that you're prioritizing your time of activities online and offline. And you're alert because you know how to be safe online and as well as create safe spaces for others. Because if you wish to be safe, then you're supposed to be the first person who creates those safe spaces. And when you're able to do all these things, you become an impactor, and that person is able to spread the knowledge ahead, and that creates a ripple of, change. And basically, everybody knows how to be safe online, how to use tech for good, and take the best out of what has been given to you. So yeah, that would be my answer.
That was great, Namya. I think we all love to hear you say, how you can connect gamification in a solution-based approach towards everything. That's amazing. Over to Akansha.
Yeah. For social media, currently we're running this campaign, Break the Ice. Okay. And what we are doing there is we are collecting people, old clothes from people, of course, in some good situation, and then we are donating to people. Now we are running this full campaign online. And you won't imagine the number of people who have signed up for this. In Delhi University alone, we are having 15 hotspot where college students are collecting all their extra clothes that they know that's not going to fit them anymore, and they can pass on to someone who's in need of it. They are collecting it there. So of course, social media helps a lot. In fact, I got to know about this whole panel thing through social media. So you get to network with so many people, again, like-minded people, and at the same time, people who are in need of something. So especially for this campaign things where we are talking about, and this bullyful campaign that will be running this year, social media helps you get to reach a lot of people where you haven't contacted them before. I do not know Palak, I did not know Namya or Naman. That's how we went to know about a lot more people than we already know. So that's kind of the power of social media at this point of time. And one very important thing when I talk about education as a cause, it's very difficult to just go through books and just go through those bookish knowledge, but through reels and different kind of format of learning where we can make it a little bit more interactive than what we had right now, it helps a lot. And of course, it's kind of a game changer at this point. So that's more or less I would like to add on about the digital space in general. And I guess, yeah, that's all I wanted to say about it.
Yes, definitely. That's understandable. Moving forward to Naman, what more can we hear on your thoughts regarding social media? Naman, are you here with us?
Naman mentioned he's facing some internet issues. So let's give him a couple of seconds. Otherwise, again, Naman, you can also please add your opinions on the chat.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, to talk about the digital space a little bit, I think firstly, digital space, especially social media, it has a lot to do with my journey as well. Perhaps I didn't mention this in the first question you were talking about. It's something that when I got in touch with different organizations is when I started learning different skills that are required to excel in the field that we're currently working in, and also make sure that you incorporate different people that you meet in your journey with yourself, and that collaboration is much needed. So I think in terms of digital space, collaboration is a big factor which digital space that actually enables us. And as many people put it, I think digital space and the network is the key that unlocks the brighter future, and it's also the key that unlocks a lot of collaboration in terms of how we are right now in the World Rise Summit, and different people from different parts of the world sitting on a Friday morning, and I mean now Friday afternoon, talking about what really needs attention and talking about how we can actually do what our purpose in life. Everybody has a purpose in life, which I believe, their ikigai of what they're meant to do. So something like that. And also in terms of social media, as I was mentioning earlier about influences as well, it's a big part, because I mean I'm sure many of us are spending at least 30 to 40 minutes of our day scrolling through reels or shorts, and you never know what may come up on your feed, which is actually that pump you needed to start doing what you want to do. It could be a quote, it could be a video, it could be a picture by someone you're really inspired by. So I think that's how social media adds a lot of boost to one's collaboration and also to one's passion.
Definitely, that was great to hear. I think all of us here can agree that collaboration and networking is the key right now to move ahead. That was amazing. Ansuya, can we have your answer? And no issues, you can drop your answer in the chat box if you're still facing some network.
Anusuya has added her opinions on the chat. So lovely. She's also engaged in the conversation.
We love to see that. Amazing. It was all great hearing you. Over to Avani now.
This was really a great session. So, in closing this impactful panel discussion on Sustainable Development Goal 4, quality education, our esteemed panelists shared diverse experience and perspectives. Namya's tech-savvy approach, Naman's environmental commitment, and Akansha's community-driven initiatives showcased a rich tapestry of approaches. Even though we could not gather much from Anusuya due to the network issue, her advocacy for gender equality and insights into leveraging digital platforms are not unknown to any one of us. I'm glad we could connect on chat with her though. Her life is really inspiring. The Q&A session enriched our discussion, and it is a testament to the power of youth steering towards an inclusive and sustainable educational landscape. As we move forward, let us carry these insights, continuing the journey towards a brighter and equitable future. Thank you for being a part of this transformative conversation, everyone. It was awesome.
Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you guys learned something. All the attendees, thank you for being so engaging. We have a whole lot of questions. We will definitely try to share it with the panelists if you can take up those questions later. Thank you, Namya. Thank you, Naman. Thank you, Anusuya. Thank you, Akansha, for joining. I love the work that all of you are doing. That's why we wanted you to be a part of this panel to share your work to the world. Again, thank you for joining in. And yeah, thank you, everyone, for attending.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Also, this was a beautiful initiative. So, like, a great job done, Palakh and whole the team.
Thank you so much, everyone.